In the age of Kali Yuga, everybody is gratifying their senses. सभी जीव इंद्र तृप्ति में पड़े हुए हैं और आध्यात्मिक जीवन का ध्यान भी नहीं आता। ये सबसे बड़ी विडंबना है और सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। आज बहुत से भक्त लोग साउथ इंडिया की यात्रा में गए हैं, क्योंकि हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज साउथ इंडिया की यात्रा कर रहे हैं लगभग 10,000 शिष्यों के साथ में, और यहाँ के भक्त लोग भी वहाँ पर गए हुए हैं। आशा करते हैं कि गुरुजनों के सत्संग से जीवन की धारा को बदलने में उनको आसानी होगी। कुछ बुढ़े भी गए हैं, कुछ यंग भी गए हैं। हाँ, यंग भक्ति के कार्य में संलग्न हो जाएंगे और जो बुढ़े हैं वो वैराग्य की ओर आ जाएंगे। Isn't it? That's what is expected. The more you do sangha, the more you good sangha, the more you hear. That's how you progress on the path of spiritual life. So this is what we have to do. So let us rejuvenate with the kirtan. Okay? Yes. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo, Haribo, everybody. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hari Haribo. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Gauranita Gauranita Jai Gauranita. Gaura 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 Hare. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Nitai Gaurango Gaura Hari. Nitai Gaurango Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada 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 Gurudev. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Stotra Sat His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Everybody founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Acharya Stotra Sat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Acharya Leela Pravishtam Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Acharya Leela Pravishtam Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। रामेश्वर बद्रीनाथ धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जाए। वृंददेव तुलसी महारानी की जाए। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाए। श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन भगवान की जाए। श्री श्री निधाय गौर सुंदर भगवान की जाए। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाए। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल प्रसाद वितरण प्रोग्राम की जाए, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाए, इस्कॉन खारगर की जाए, इस्कॉन खारगर भक्त वृंद की जाए, गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Would like to welcome everybody this morning for Srimad Bhagavatam class. छूटे से कहीं आ गए तो उनका भी धन्यवाद, और जो निष्ठा से आए हैं उनको भी धन्यवाद, और जो प्रेरणा से आए हैं उनको भी धन्यवाद. ऐसी कड़ी में बनते रहिए, जिंदगी का हौसला अफजाई करते रहिए और जिंदगी को और सुंदर बनाने का प्रयास कीजिए. ये जिंदगी फिर से कभी मिलती नहीं है. ये बहुत जन्मों के बाद उपलब्धि हुई है. इसको सही दिशा दीजिए, और सही दिशा देना आपके हाथ में है. It's up to you, sir. You want to go the path of sense gratification? It's up to you. You want to go on the path of devotion? It's up to you. Ye yatha mam prapadante tam tathaiva bhajamyam. Isn't it? So the choice is us. And all of you are holding the Bhagavatam in your hand. That's your choice. Isn't it? And it's very, very nice. This holding on to Bhagavatam, holding on to the Bhagavat devotees, and holding on to the Bhagavat Tirthas will give you access to Goloka Vrindavan. And that is the destination. After embracing all these three constantly, Prabhupada ji is assuring you that Krishna will take you back home, back to Godhead. You may not have any clue of that world which is beyond your conception, but that gets revealed the more you surrender to all the three, and then you become very blissful in your life. So thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 7, chapter number 6, and the shloka is 7. It's in the continuation of the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his classmates. Mugdasya Bale Kaishore Kridato Yati Vimsatim Jaraya Grasta Dehasya Yati Akalapasya Vyamsatim Mugdasya Bale Kaishwarye Kridato Yati Vimsatim Jaraya Grasta Dehasya Yati Akalapasya Vimsatim Mugdasya Bale Kaishware Kridato Yati Vimsatim Jaraya Grasta Dehasya Yati Akalapasya Vimsatim Mugdasya Bale Kaishwarye Kridato Yati Vimsatim जराय ग्रस्त देहस्य याति अकल्पस्य विंशति।
मुग्धस्य बाल्यकेशोरे क्रीडतो याति विंशति। जराय ग्रस्तदेहस्य याति अकल्पस्य विंशति।
Mothers, word to word translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Mugdasya, of a person bewildered or not in perfect knowledge, Balye, in childhood, Kaishore, in boyhood, Kridata, playing, Yati, passes, Vimsati, 20 years, Jaraya, by invalidity, Grasta Dehasya, of a person overcome, Yati, passes, Akalpasya, without determination, being unable to execute even material activities, Vimshatim, another 20 years. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. Kindly repeat after me and thoughtfully remain in the translation so that you come to know what happens to your human body. Isn't it? In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one wastes one passes another 20 years wastefully. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Without Krishna consciousness, one wastes 20 years in childhood and boyhood and another 20 years in old age, when one cannot perform any material activities and in full of anxiety about what is to be done by his sons and grandsons and how one's estate should be protected. Half of these years are spent in sleep. Furthermore, one wastes another 30 years sleeping at night during the rest of his life. Thus, 70 out of 100 years are wasted by a person who does not know the aim of life and how to utilize his human form of life. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurminitam Yenai Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyati Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauradusai Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmahitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Pesh Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namusate Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Pri Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Once again, welcome all of you who thoughtfully are here, and those whose thoughts are evaporated in the material world or engrossed in the material world. They are not here. So we wish them also good, that they can also progress on the path of spiritual life, because if your human life is not equiposed, as said by Srila Prabhupada, then the possibility is that you will not be able to even take the spiritual life. If you are not completely intelligent enough to think about yourself, what is the good for your life, you will not come to spiritual life. तो पहला ये कर्तव्य देखना है कि जीव मानसिक संतुलन में बराबर है कि नहीं. जो मानसिक संतुलन में बराबर है वही अपने जीवन के बारे में कुछ सही सोच सकता है. हाँ, बचपन में कभी आपने देखा होगा किसी माता पिता अपने बच्चे को पता नहीं क्या हो गया, इसका मन स्थिर नहीं रहता, इसको क्या करना है समझता बूझता नहीं है. और श्रील प्रभुपाद जी इसी भागवत में बता रहे हैं, one who is not knowing what is good for him, he will not be able to make decisions for his life. one who has lost the equilibrium of spiritual life or his mental life, he will not be able to surrender to Krishna consciousness because he doesn't know what is good for his life. One who cannot take the decision about his life. So, this chapter, Prahlad Maharaj is teaching us, and Prahlad Maharaj is not an ordinary person. He is a Mahajan. He is a wonderful devotee. And this happened in Satyuga. And then, then we see in Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, we see Dwapar Yuga, we are getting this wonderful Bhagavatam because the king was so powerful that he could think about the welfare of himself as well as the citizens at the time. Correct? So a dying person is inquiring about the purpose of life for the welfare of his citizens, and he is not fearless about dying within 7 days. So you can imagine what can be the consciousness of that person who knows that he is going to die within 7 days, and yet he is thinking what is the best for our spiritual life. Isn't it? He is not worried about the curse. He is not worried about anything else. He is worried about the real welfare of life because he is completely composed. He is completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and his heredity is very, very glorious. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we are in 2022. When Parikshit Maharaj was the king at the time, it was 5,200 or 250 years or 5,500 years back. And no wrong thing could be happening in his kingdom. So what four things were not happening in kingdom? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no brothels, no liquor shops. Correct? But we are in this age now, 2022, where everything is licensed. Liquor shops are licensed. Prostitution is licensed. Slaughterhouses is licensed. And gambling is also licensed. Are you understanding? Only 5,500 years back, nobody could dare to do that in the kingdom. But now we have all the four sinful activities happening with full license. So under this situation, what can a person do who is born in a situation where he cannot decide about the better welfare of his life? So, what happens? So, 5,000 years back, Vyasadeva, is writing here completely what happens to that person who is not equiposed. What happens? 10 साल का बालिकाल ऐसे निकल जाता है, कुछ पता ही नहीं चल जाता कि हम कहाँ पर हैं। और बाकी 10 साल की जो बालिकाल की अवस्था है, या तो बाल बनाने में जाते हैं या पता ही नहीं चल जाता कि मुझे क्या करना है. So you ask a 20 years boy or a girl, what do you want to become? Sir, I don't know. देखी जाएगी. Isn't it? He has no clue up to 20 years. But he has got clue for so many things. How to smoke, how to drink, how to flirt, and how to take steaks in McDonald's. He knows all that thing. And you tell him to come to the temple? कौन जाता है मंदिर में? बूढ़ा लोग जाता है. Papa, I don't want to go to the temple. My friends are waiting there with Pizza Hut. I want to sip, Pepsi. And I want to, take Coke. And you know what? Something very new has come. Diet Coke has come. You drink it and you don't become fatty. And in spiritual life, it is said the more you become serious in spiritual life, the more you will understand Radha Krishna Leela. But in the material life, the more you become sense gratifier, the more you say that Radha Krishna, they are all boys and girls flirting with each other, so I would like to also flirt. But spiritual life is very serious life. That is why Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Komaram acharate prakyo. From the young age itself, we have to mold this life into a mold where you will not go crazy. You will be trained in proper spiritual life. जिसने माता पिता की डांट बचपन में खा ली, उसको प्रकृति का प्रहार बुढ़ापे में कम होगा. और जिसने माता पिता का शिक्षण सही तरीके से बाल्यकाल में लिया, उसका जीवन बड़ा ही सुंदर तरीके से निकल सकता है. कहीं पे भी चूक, कहीं पे भी दृष्टि हटी और दुर्घटना घटी. Isn't it? जिस दृष्टि को संभाल संभाल के आपको शुद्ध करना है, अगर उसी में कहीं कलुषता पैदा हो गई तो वही आपको दुर्घटना में लेके जा सकता है. Yes or no? So nowadays we see the boys and the girls in the young age, they fall in love. They flirt. When they are only 15 years, when they are only 16 years, when they are only 17 years, when they are only 19 years, when they are only 20 years, and what happens after 25th, God knows. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj is teaching us, the Mahajana is teaching us, that Kaumaram Acharati Pragyo. From young age, you cultivate spiritual knowledge. From young age, you cultivate discipline of the senses. Young age, you train your body properly so that you can progress on the path of spiritual life. Otherwise, it is wasting. 10 years are wasted in becoming young. Another 10 years are wasted in playing. And what happens to the later 20 years, you become old. Slowly, slowly, I have started also catching up. So kindly take care of me, huh? Don't discard me in the Central Park. अभी बुढ़ा हो गया, अभी क्या करने का? Huh? To the later 20 years, That means 40 years have just passed like this. But it is said that if you are living for 100 years, a materialistic person who doesn't know what is to be done with his life, he sleeps for 50 years. Isn't it? अब बचा ही क्या? आप देख रहे कि नहीं? अब बचा ही क्या? जब 50 साल आप तो सो लिए और 20 बालिकाल और बालिक क्रीड़ा में निकल गए और बाकी 20 जो बुढ़ापे में, बचा क्या है? तो जिंदगी को टटोलो और जिंदगी को देखो कहां बची हुई है तुम्हारी जिंदगी। जिस जिंदगी के साथ में आप जाएंगे ठाकुर जी के साथ प्रेम करने के लिए। इसलिए महाजनों का परामर्श मानना ही पड़ेगा। कौमारम आचरते प्रज्ञो, otherwise life is very, very wasteful. Prabhupada ji is saying that this human life is very rare. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapatante. After many, many births, you get this human form of a life, and you don't waste this life. Don't waste this life. And this life is not just like the animalistic life, what they say in the Western countries, dog life. This life is not to be spent like a dog or just eating, meeting and sleeping and defending like animals. But this human life is achieved after great, great, great endeavor. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमित भ्रमित कौन भाग्यवान जीव, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. One who is tossed in the waves of the material world. Who is that fortunate person who comes to Krishna consciousness thinking that I have to give this body only to serve Krishna, Guru and Krishna. Bhagyavan ji, fortunate jiva. After wandering many lives, one who is completely knowledgeable, he takes the shelter of Guru and Krishna, and under the shelter of the Guru and Krishna, this human life is carved for betterment in devotional service, so that you can be engaged in devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. So it is said that earlier times, Aryan, the advanced person, was called Arya. Arya means he was completely, fully knowledgeable about the Vedic knowledge. That's why you hear Krishna is chastising Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arya Justam. How come these impurities have come to you, Arjuna? That you are falling prey of the real knowledge, that what is the real kartavya of a human life. So over there, Prabhupada is talking that he's addressing to him Aryan. Aryan means who are completely knowledgeable in spiritual life. He knows what is the goal of life. He's Aryan. In modern times, people, they don't know what is the goal of their life. You ask a student, what is the goal of life? He says, I don't want to become an engineer. I want to become a techie. Oh, I don't want to become techie. I want to become mechanical. This is their goal of life. Because they don't know what is actual goal of life, of human life. So Prabhupada says, anyone who is progressing on the spiritual life, He is called Arya, and he must know how to get out of this entanglement of Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. This is the only thing which gives us pain all the time. One who is tossing in the material world all the time, he is always with bhayam. He is always fearful. Mera kya hoga? Mera kya hoga? So this bhaya is always, troubling him. He doesn't know. The best thing is to surrender to Krishna, as Krishna is demanding in this Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharmam parityajamam ekam sharanam vraja aham toa sarva papi vimoksasami mahasachva. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender to me. You will become fearless. भौतिक वार्ताओं में और भौतिक संसार के सभी संतापों में झुलसने वाला जीव तुरंत ही भय को क्रॉस कर देता। अगर वो केवल एक ही डिसीजन ले ले, that I have to surrender to Guru and Krishna, he will become always very blissful. And there also you have to understand, ye yatha mam prapadante tam tathaiv bhajami. What degree of abhayam you have to achieve in your life. Krishna is very categorically saying, जिस प्रकार तुम शरणागत मेरे हो जाओगे, उस प्रकार मैं तुम्हारे समक्ष रहूंगा। इसका उदाहरण कौरवों और पांडवों का। कौरवों ने भगवान की भौतिक साम्राज्य मांगा और पांडवों ने भगवान को मांगा। जो पांडवों ने मांगा उससे वो विजयी हो गए, और जो कौरवों ने मांगा उससे वो पराजयी हो गए। भले ही उसमें क्वांटिटी कितनी भी नहीं रही हो, मगर उन सब की पराजय हो गई। यही डिनोट करता है कि आपके जीवन में आपको क्या करना है। व्हाट यू वांट टू डू इन योर लाइफ। Do it early. Do it quickly. Age is catching up. And we try to manage only, 15 to 20 chairs over there in the hall, but now the chairs are increasing. Maybe tomorrow we need more, 100 chairs more. Yes. रात को सोए नहीं, मच्छर ने काटा होगा। हाँ, गर्मी होगी बहुत। अच्छा, बहुत अच्छी नींद आती, क्योंकि मैंने अपने इंद्रियों को काबू नहीं किया अभी तक। हाँ, कितनी सताती हैं ये इंद्रियां हमको, और फिर भी कितने हम लोग गर्व से कहते कि मैं भक्ति कर रहा हूं। भक्ति कर रहा हूं। And what will happen to those people who even don't know how to put a tilak on their forehead? उनका क्या होगा जो तिलक लगाने से शर्माते हैं? उनका क्या होगा जो कंठी माला लगाने में शर्माते हैं? कितनी दुर्गति है उनके जीवन में, और कितने भाग्यवान हैं जो आध्यात्मिक जीवन में ये संभल चुके हैं कि जो शास्त्र पढ़ रहे हैं, ज्ञान पढ़ रहे हैं, भक्ति का सभी सूत्र पढ़ रहे हैं। और जो बुद्धिमान हैं उनको ये समझना होगा कि और भी बुद्धिमान कैसे बनना है हमको, क्योंकि आध्यात्मिक जीवन का प्रसंग जो है संपूर्ण निष्ठा और प्रेम और त्याग मांगता है। वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगम। We are following all the Goswamis. We are learning the teachings of the great Goswamis of Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, who are giving you access to the nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, and Bhagavad Gita. They are telling you, you learn these true scriptures before entering into the Bhagavatam. They have given you nectar of instruction. They have given you nectar of devotion. So that you become very careless. You become careful. You give up careless attitudes in your life and you become careful in your spiritual life. You have to follow these acharyas. You cannot follow your own mind. You have to follow Prahlad Maharaj. You have to follow the Prahlad Maharaj of Satyug. You have to follow the Goswamis of Kali Yuga. And you have to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has come to deliver you from this nescience of this material world. He is so compassionate. He is so great. He has come again. He is giving you the yukti in the age of Kali Yuga to come back to his spiritual world. And he is facilitating you to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. But you have to pay the price. You have to pay the price. Without paying the price, don't you think ever you can taste the mellows of devotional service? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswamis, all the Shad Goswamis, they surrendered to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarva Upadi Vinir Muktam. ध्यान से सुनिए आप. And they gave up everything. Who was Rupa Goswami? Who was Sanatana Goswami? They gave up. They gave up the attachment with all the worldly things in their lives. They gave up the portfolios of Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. They gave up the post of finance ministers. And they became instruments in the hands of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to excavate Vrindavan. They are giving you Vrindavan, they are giving you the absolute pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It cannot be a fantasy of modern girlfriend and a boyfriend. To understand Jugala Preeti is very difficult. It cannot be just fantasized that I'm going to talk about Krishna book, I'm going to talk about this. So Prabhupada is saying, till you don't finish your nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, if you don't conquer your senses, you cannot understand Radha Krishna Leela. It's not a subject matter of boy and girl, that Krishna was flirting with 11,108 girls. Let me flirt with one or two girls. It is not like that. It's very serious business. The modern Bollywood heroes, movies, this, that, nonsense is happening. Shun away these type of propensities and take the shelter of a great Vaishnava. Then only you will be able to understand what is Jugala Preeti. So Prabhupada ji says that it's very important for us to remember, Rupa Raghunath Pade Hoiba Kabhi Akruti. When will that time will rise that you will develop an attachment with these two, Rupa Raghunath? They were not with the genes. They gave up all the luxuries of kingly luxuries. And they were in the loincloth, staying in Vrindavan under one tree. They were sitting on Madan Mohan Tila. Okay? They were in a small hut, only thinking about Krishna all the time. And even if you want to think of Krishna at this moment, you have a bell attached to you, mobile. And this mobile is giving you all nonsense things along with all the gadgets. So you have to know what is your brain. Are you sharp in your choosing, or you are loose in losing yourself? If you don't know how to utilize these gadgets for betterment of your spiritual life, don't use these gadgets, because they are going to drill your consciousness, they are going to eat your consciousness, and they are going to completely spoil you. So my dear friends, 500 years back, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged these Swamis, Goswamis in Vrindavan, just 500 years back. And we are in this Gaur Andhakar. And in this Andhakar also a great solace for us that Srila Prabhupada came among us. He developed attachment to the spiritual master who was Naishtika Brahmachari. And he was Brahmachari. It's very difficult nowadays to remain Brahmachari also. But Prabhupadaji's spiritual master was Brahmachari. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was a great Brahmachari, Naishtika Brahmachari, from young age itself. So, Srila Prabhupada did a great service to mankind. The blind leaders cannot understand what contributions he has given to the whole world. He has given access of Radha Krishna Leela to those most of the people who are completely engrossed in the sense gratification. He gave them in such a manner. He gave the systemized Krishna consciousness to those people who can emerge victorious on the path of divinity if followed as per proper Acharya's instructions. Prabhupada ji is saying, एक तो वेद का अध्ययन होता है और दूसरा होता है विधि का अध्ययन होता है. वेद अध्ययन आपके लिए जीवन में कष्टदायी होगा. विधि का अध्ययन करने वाले को आध्यात्मिक जीवन की उत्तम पराकाष्ठा प्राप्त हो सकती है, क्योंकि वो आचार्य उन पर कृपा करते हैं. वैदिक ट्रीटाइज में अगर आपके पिता जो ब्राह्मण है तभी आप मंत्र धारण कर सकते हैं, मगर वेदी जो पंचरात्र की विधि जो है ये आपको क्वालिफाइड करा देती है, बिकॉज यू आर अंडर ए ट्रेन्ड आचार्य, एंड वट एवर ही इज ट्रेनिंग यू, इफ यू फॉलो इट एज इट इज, यू विल बी एबल टू राइज टू द स्पिरिचुअल ओकेजन. And don't lose this opportunity in your life. Prabhupada is talking about Shruti Smriti Puranadhi Panchratri ki vidhim vina akant ki harer bhaktir utpataye kalpate. Otherwise it will be very, very difficult for you to understand. So, जो आचार्य की तरफ से आपको शिक्षा प्रदान किया जाता है, उस शिक्षा में आप पारंगत होइए. जो भी आपको स्वाध्याय या साधना की भक्ति में आपको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो वो साधना भक्ति में पारंगत होते हुए आप राग प्रेम ये सब में प्रविष्ट हो सकते हैं. तो इस मनुष्य जीवन को बेकार मत गवाइए. Don't misuse human form of a life. In spite of you getting initiated, in spite of you coming to the temple, don't ever think going back to this worst situation where you will not be saved. You are very fortunate that you are taking Krishna consciousness. If you don't know how to take the Krishna consciousness, just adhere. Tell somebody, he can teach you the spiritual process very sincerely. Just don't lose your young age in earning money, wasting money, gratifying your senses, earning money. Don't waste your life for that. Because this human form is not meant for losing like this. Because old age will catch up, young age is already gone, and whatever time you have now, you have to do bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. You said, people may question, sir, I am doing this, I am doing that. This is the nature of the human brain. Somebody will say that Allahu Akbar. Somebody will say Jesus Christ is great. Somebody will say Buddha is great. Do we start fighting now? Are we going to fight with them? Because these are not dharmas. These are religions. Religions cannot give you access to God. Dharma can give you access to God. Now what is that dharma? That has to be learned. You cannot slaughter cows and say Allah is great. He can save me. That's completely nonsense. You cannot say that I will keep on sinning and Jesus Christ is going to save me. He can save you once. But what is Sanatana Dharma? Not Kaitava Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is completely teaching us how to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Satyuga, how many years back? How many years back? It's more than almost about 45 lakhs years. Huh? It is there. Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. You can see how it's relevant today itself. Satyuga, Prahlad Maharaj is giving us the teaching how we should utilize this human form of a life. Kaumaram acharte pragyo. So utilizing our human form, and it's very, very important. So it is said, without Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada ji is writing in the purport, one wastes 20 years in childhood and boyhood and another 20 years in old age, when one cannot perform any materialistic activities and in full anxiety about what is to be done by his sons and grandsons and how one's estate should be protected. In the old age, this is the anxiety of the people who have either lot of money or they don't have any money. There is an always anxiety in the old age. So old age is not the right situation for you to fall in bhakti. It is full of already anxiety of what you have done in your past or what has not been achieved in your life. You'll be contemplating on that. But the best thing is that you should take up the Krishna consciousness now and stick to the process of Krishna consciousness very seriously so that you can cross over this ocean of nescience by your devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ji put himself in the most toughest situations. He remained in Vrindavan very simply. Radha Damodar temple, there was charpai, not even the bed, charpai, jute, ropes, and that room was not even properly painted. And he spent very good time over there for 20 years. And not only that, he endeavored at the old age also. He traveled in the old age also speaking about Krishna consciousness. At the time of the death, he was also talking about Krishna consciousness. And say the same sannyasis, you can see now, the disciples are also doing like that. You look at Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. What age is he? 79. He's endeavoring, everybody giving his association. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, under so much of problems, but they are like fighters, warriors of Srila Prabhupada. So within this short time, you all have to become very strong in spiritual life. Don't lose your time on gossips or small all things. Make use of time, everything, fully in Krishna consciousness. समय नहीं है बाकी बचा हुआ. So when you are completely thoughtfully preparing your day for your life, you will see that you will be making a radical change in the material world, because this is dukhaliyam ashastam. इस संसार में बहुत सी चीजें करनी है. गृहस्थ के लिए और भी कठिनाई होती है. गृहस्थी पालन करना है, बच्चों को निर्देशन देना है, सब कुछ करते हुए भी आध्यात्मिक जीवन में सक्सेसफुल बनना है. वो तभी संभव हो सकता है जब आपका मन संपूर्ण रूप से प्रातः के समय 4 से लेकर 6 बजे तक मन के पर रहेगा और सुबह के 2 घंटे अच्छी तरीके से भगवान का नाम दे देंगे आप. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. जब प्रातः के समय आप सही ढंग से अपना नाम स्मरण करेंगे, एटलीस्ट 1 चैप्टर भागवतम का हर दिन पढ़ेंगे कार्य करने से पहले, क्योंकि हर कोई कार्य तो करना ही है, चाहे आप करेंगे और या हम लोग कर रहे हैं, अंदर करें, कार्य तो करना ही पड़ेगा. प्रचार सेवा तो करना ही पड़ेगा, मगर सेवा के साथ साथ में ये सब चीज़ें ध्यान में रखें. 16 माला आप अच्छी तरीके से करें और श्रीमद् भागवतम का 1 चैप्टर हर दिन पढ़ें. पढ़ सकते हैं? Can anybody do that? I don't think anybody is doing. Can you read one chapter of Bhagavatam every day? बताइए, कोई अनुष्ठान कर सकता है राधा मदन मोहन जी के मंदिर में बैठे बैठे कि हाँ मैं हर दिन 1 चैप्टर भागवतम का कंप्लीट करूंगा? रामकृष्ण प्रभु की जय हो. ये दूसरे प्रभु जी का क्या नाम है आपका? श्योर? प्रभुपाद जी बोलते हैं अगर आप हर दिन श्रीमद् भागवतम का 1 चैप्टर हर दिन पढ़ोगे, भगवान आपको इतनी युक्ति देंगे कि सदैव आप कृष्ण भावनामृत में रहेंगे और अच्छे सुप्रसिद्ध वक्ता बन सकते हो. He is guaranteeing you. Who is guaranteeing you? Prabhupada ji is guaranteeing. If you read one chapter of Bhagavatam daily, you will become very, very expert, daksha in Bhagavatam. And your consciousness will be very, very pure all the time. आना जाना तो ठाकुर जी का ही खेल है ना, वही सब कुछ कर सकते हैं ना। तो पूरा एक चैप्टर आप पढ़ेंगे, उसको बोलिए कि ट्रैंकुलाइजर आपको मिल जाएगा। अगर आप करेंगे तो बहुत ही अलग मूड में रहेंगे आप। अपना 16 माला जप कीजिए और एक चैप्टर भागवतम पढ़िए, और आप बहुत ही भाग्यवान जीव कहलाएंगे। So this is my humble request, and this is what Prahlad Maharaj is also requesting, that this is the right time for you to spend your life in spiritual life. And whenever you are all coming to the temple, come to the dhoti, kurta, young youths, प्रेरणा बनिए दूसरों के लिए। We can become bad example any time, है ना। गंदा जीन तो कभी भी पहन सकते हो, साफ धोती पहनने में परिश्रम लगता है, हाँ है कि नहीं। साफ धोती पहनने में परिश्रम लगता है, क्योंकि धोती गंदी हो जाएगी तो उसको साफ करना पड़ेगा। तो तुम्हारी धोती, तुम्हारी लोटी तुमको ही साफ करना पड़ेगा। माँ को थोड़ी बोलेगा मेरा धोती साफ करो, isn't it? तो ये भी अपने आप को डिसिप्लिन सीखना पड़ेगा। हम लोग सब फिरंगी लोग आ जाते हैं, देखो जीन पहन के, ये देखिए बाबा आ गए हमारे जीन पहन के। क्या होगा? मुसलमान को टोपी लगाने में कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, हाँ। और उसका दूसरा स्टाइल देखिए, घुटने से ऊपर ही पैजामा पहनाता। उनका ये अलग स्टाइल है, पता नहीं क्या, मैं जान नहीं सका आज तक, मेरे को समझ नहीं सका। मैं घुटने के ऊपर से ही पैजामा पहनते। सो एटलीस्ट हिंदू लोगों को जागृत करना होगा ना अपने आप को, isn't it? क्या हो गया? हाँ? अब मोदी जी तो हमेशा होंगे नहीं प्राइम मिनिस्टर। जितनी देर में है उतना देर प्रेरणा प्राप्त करके कोई देशभक्ति का गाना गाओ, और क्या करोगे। और सबसे अच्छा गाना यही है, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने ये सड़कों में 500 वर्ष पहले गाना गाया था, और उसका रिकॉर्ड अभी भी बज रहा है, हाँ? अगर ये रिकॉर्ड बंद गया होता तो हम लोग सुन नहीं पाते। अगर हम सुन नहीं पाते तो हम यहाँ पर बैठे नहीं होते, हम भी रुपये पैसे के पीछे भाग रहे होते, isn't it? So don't run after money, and just give up your little life to Radha Madan Mohan ji and become wonderful devotees, and don't worry about anything. माता पिता की डांट खा लो, no problem, but 5 साल 10 साल के बाद माता पिता वही आपको बोलेंगे कि भाई तुमने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। आपको गारंटी, मैं खून से लिख के सकता हूं, ये सबके साथ हुआ। देखो सामवेद के साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ। जब भी हम लोग ज्वाइन किए तो पिताजी वगैरह सब आंख बबूला हो गए, isn't it? मगर थोड़ा सा साल निकल गया तो साधु बेटा ही काम आ जाएगा। अगर किसी माँ बाप के पास में 2-4 बेटे हैं, ध्यान से सुनो आप, अगर कोई साधु निकला है तो वही बेटा उसका काम में आ जाएगा। बाकी जितने भी लफाड़र निकले हैं वो कोई काम नहीं आएंगे। आध्यात्मिक ढंग से भी और भौतिक ढंग से भी। आध्यात्मिक ढंग से कैसे? प्रहलाद महाराज कहते हैं, जिस कुटुंब में एक बच्चा प्रहलाद भक्त बना, उसका क्या होगा? 21 पीढ़ी तर जाएगा, है कि नहीं? और जिसका बेटा साधु है, उसकी माता पिता की सदगति भी आध्यात्मिक ढंग से होती है, क्योंकि वो कंप्लीट नॉलेज में जानता है कि भागवत गीता उसने पढ़ा है। ध्यान से सुनो आप लोग, हाँ, संसारी व्यक्तियों सुनो इसको, नहीं तो खोपड़ी ऐसे खोलते रहो, ऐसे जाओगे कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा। जस्ट rascaldom, like even if you because your materialistic father has not read Bhagavad Gita, he has no knowledge about what is Bhagavad Gita, so he will not know what is the qualification of my devotee son. Just like Hiranyakashipu was not understanding the qualification of a Prahlad Maharaj, he wanted to make him learn economics, politics and so many other things. But the result was better for the Hiranyakashipu also. So the same way what happens, a materialistic father cannot understand what my spiritual son is doing. उसको तो सिर्फ चाहिए बेटा का पैसा. But if anybody becomes devotee, he understands that मेरे को माता पिता का भी अच्छी तरीके से सेवा करना है. वो सेवा किस तरीके से करते? स्पिरिचुअल ढंग से उनकी सेवा करते. उनको भक्तों के साथ में तीर्थ यात्रा करने के लिए लेके जाते, उनको जपमाला देते हैं, उनको मरने के टाइम पे मरने का एहसास दिलाते हुए सही ढंग से उनका अंतिम विदा कर देते हैं. और जिसके माता पिता के पास में बेटा डिवोशी होता, उसको मालूम भी नहीं है. माता पिता मर गया, उसको पता भी नहीं चल जाता. अमेरिका गया हुआ है, सड़ गया बॉडी 4 महीना, लकड़ी बन गया बॉडी का. तब लॉक करो, पता चल जाता है कि अभी क्या करना है, बॉडी का क्या करना है. सो दिस इज गरगर की कहानी है. ये भागवत की कहानी इस वक्त है, मगर गरगर की कहानी ऐसा हो रहा है हिंदू में, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट ट्रेनिंग देयर चिल्ड्रन टू बिकम स्पिरिचुअलिस्ट. दे आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू train their children to become spiritual. They don't have any knowledge. This is what is happening. So, जितने भी अभी बच्चे खुचे हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा आध्यात्मिक जीवन में ज़्यादा जोर देना चाहिए, प्रचार पे, और सब लोगों को हेल्प करना चाहिए. अपने फैमिली को पहले सही ढंग से अच्छी तरीके से भक्ति दीजिए, और फिर अपने मित्रों को भी आध्यात्मिक जीवन में पारंगत कराइए. भागवतम, भागवत गीता सबको पढ़ने का रुचि डेवलप कीजिए, कराइए. वो तभी संभव हो सकता है जब आप उनको मंदिर में भक्तों के संग, अपना संग उनको दे देंगे, तो स्लोली 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 किसी न किसी टाइम पे इसका असर आ जाता है. But we have to follow our Sanatan Dharma very sincerely. Otherwise, a lot of things are going astray, a lot of things are happening. Your politicians are not completely rightly guiding people. They may give the schemes, but they may not give you schemes by which you will be able to rise from the material world. They can give you the comfortable schemes to allure you for some time. But the Srimad Bhagavatam is an eternal classical instructions for all of us. So we have to follow these instructions very seriously in our lives and practice yourself. And first you practice, and then you can tell others. And be proud that you are a proud Sanatani Hindu, you are proud Sanatani Vaishnava, you must follow that. It cannot happen without knowing your knowledge. It cannot happen without knowing Bhagavatam. It cannot happen without knowing Bhagavad Gita. Never ever think that you can be, only part of this system of Sanatan Dharma without knowing the knowledge. प्रभुपाद जी ने सदैव ग्रंथ अध्ययन पर बहुत और बहुत जोर दिया है. जब तक आप ग्रंथ पढ़ोगे नहीं, तब तक आपके जीवन का अंधकार दूर नहीं हो सकता. और चैतन्य महाप्रभु इस कलयुग का सबसे बड़ा योग और साधना प्रदान कर देते हैं. हरि नाम हरि नाम हरि नामेव केवलम कलो नास्तेव नास्तेव गतिरन्यथा. इस कलयुग में बहुत से दोष हैं, लीगल दोष आ चुके. लीगल प्रोस्टिट्यूशन हो रहा है, लीगल ड्रिंकिंग हो रहा है, लीगल मीट ईटिंग हो रहा है, काउ स्लॉटर हाउसेस बन रहे हैं और गैम्बलिंग डेन्स बन रहे हैं. इस स्थिति में अपने आप को कैसे बचाएंगे, ये देखना. उस वक्त केवल हमें चैतन्य महाप्रभु का निर्देशन याद आता है. हरि नाम हरि नाम हरि नामेव केवलम कलो नास्तेव 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 गतिरन्यथा. और उनके सुप्रसिद्ध श्रील प्रभुपाद जैसे आचार्य हमारे बीच में आए हैं और उनके शरणागत तुरंत से तुरंत हो जाने का अपने जीवन में संकल्प लीजिए. टाइम को वेस्ट करने के लिए है नहीं. यहाँ पर आते आते भी हम लोगों को कितने साल हो गए, 12 साल हो गए, 13 साल हो गए, निकल गए 13 साल. We are also catching up old age. But still, Krishna consciousness is so nice that it always keeps you young at heart. Correct? Because you want to please Guru and Krishna. When that mission is alive in your heart, old age and so many other things cannot touch you. Otherwise, in the material world, what do? What's happening? You get lost at the age of 50, or corporate world 60 and government level 55. What else? How long they are going to tolerate you? Isn't it? Rajesh sir, isn't it true? How long they are going to tolerate you? Yeah, that's it. 58 in the government and 60 in the, and after that you're out. And you are nobody. So many people are staying in Kharghar who are ex-CBIs. Can you imagine? They cannot. Dhyan se suno bhai. I'm just telling you. Whole life they may have worked with, big cars and big offices and everything, but they could not train their children. Their problem is their children. I don't want to name the CBI chief, ex-CBI chief comes to my office, and he has got an anxiety of a son because he didn't train his son. He may have managed big scandals out there, but didn't you train your son properly? And this is the problem everywhere. This is the problem in every house. This is the problem in your house. So train them properly. आजकल के बच्चे को तो कुछ बोला भी नहीं सकता है ना. आजकल के मैंने यंग डिवोटीज को भी कुछ नहीं बोल सकते. न्यू ब्रीड हैज कम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इनको पूछूं, भाई दाढ़ी क्यों रखा है तुमने? दाढ़ी आ गया तो सुबह उठ के दाढ़ी बनाया कर. तुमको क्या मौलवी बनना है क्या? क्यों नहीं? Why doesn't your dad tell you to shave up and become smart? What is the problem? Either you are lazy or you are crazy. What is the problem? Why didn't you get up early in the morning, shave up, come to the temple? Why didn't you do that? चलता है. हमारे साथ नहीं चलता था. When we were young, ये चलता नहीं था. आजकल फैशन बन गया दाढ़ी बनाना. सो इधर देखिए ये प्रभु जी का दाढ़ी, क्यों भाई ब्लेड का कमी है क्या? Yeah. How can you get up without taking bath? How can you sleep without taking bath? So Prabhupada ji says this culture, Aryan culture, has to be imbibed in your own self. If it is not imbibed properly, you cannot do anything in your life. Even if you stay in the ashram, if it is not inbuilt in your life, you are going to mess up the ashram life also. This one Mataji here, she's here. She cleans the window pans here. She cleans the shop and everything. It's inbuilt. It is not taught in the class. It is inbuilt. Wherever तुम्हारी निगाहें जा रही हैं, गंदा दिखना नहीं चाहिए, तो नहीं दिखना चाहिए. That's inbuilt. So the same Vaishnavata can be taught, and it has to be inculcated in your life in such a manner that it becomes part of your life. And that is what is called Vaishnavata. You have to engage yourself in spiritual life very seriously. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So my humble request is to all of brothers and sisters, everybody. So remain always tuned to Krishna consciousness. Samana sau baras ka pal ki khabar nahi. We don't know what is going to happen next moment. Next moment. So we should always finish your chanting well in before 7 o'clock. Eat properly at right time every day. Don't mess up with your eating habits. Get up early in the morning properly. Come to the Sundays. No compromise in that. Even if somebody gives you $1 million, be attached to the process of devotional service. मेरे को आना ही आना है, मंदिर जाना ही जाना है, अपना 16 माला जप करना ही करना है, भागवत कथा में आना ही आना है, प्रभुपाद जी के चरणों में फूल चढ़ाना ही चढ़ाना है, मुझको भगवान के मंदिर की में सेवा करना ही करना है, मेरे को स्वाध्याय करना ही करना है, मंदिर में कुछ सफाई काम करना ही करना है, आज के एजेंडा में ये लिखना ही लिखना है. If that is not cultivated in your brain, sir, you cannot make in the spiritual life. Even if you may get diksha or anything, but still you may be crazy or lazy. दीक्षा लेने के बाद भी उसका सार समझ नहीं आया. सर्व उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तम. Prabhupada ji gave everything up. Days Pharmaceutical gave it up. Gopal Krishna Goswami, double McGill University MBAs gave it up. All upadhis gave it up. Bollywood life gave it up. It needs guts. So before giving up, you cannot get anything. Samved Das, marine engineer, gave it up. You have to give. That is our parampara. Sada Goswamis gave it up. So this is what is our movement. And don't shy away for giving it up. Anybody. Sacrifice has to be done. Without sacrifice, no house is built, no nation is built. Without sacrifice, nothing is ever achieved in life. So this is my humble request to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters. At least put couple of hours of community services within the temple, even if you have come on Sunday to this temple. If you don't inculcate this couple of hours, 2-3 hours of community service, your heart is not going to clean. Your belly may increase by eating prasadam, but your heart will not get cleansed if you don't do seva. सेवा के माध्यम से ही अपने जीवन में तरोताजगी लाइए, वो आपके जीवन को अच्छा रख सकता है। तभी जाके हम प्रहलाद महाराज के इन इंस्ट्रक्शंस को अपने जीवन में सदैव रखते हुए चलेंगे, और जो भी इन इंस्ट्रक्शंस को रखते हुए चलता है वो चलता फिरता एक मंदिर बन जाता है। जिसकी निगाहें जिसके ऊपर पड़ती हैं उसका जीवन भी शुद्ध हो जाता है। प्रभुपाद जी जहां पर भी गए, जिस पे भी अपने निगाहें रखें, वो पवित्र हो गए। पवित्र हो गए, उनका कुटुंब, उनकी फैमिलियां। That is the purity. Purity has got a special effect. And my humble request is, all of you, sacrifice. एक संडे ठीक है, एक संडे आप आ सकते हैं, सुबह आ सकते हैं। यू कम एट मंगल आरती 4:30, यू कम। क्या जाता है, क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है? या शरीर दुखता होगा, सुबह देखिए कितना, आ जाइए यहाँ पर पीछे देखिए, सड़क भी अच्छा बन गया हरे कृष्ण लैंड का, अभी बहुत अच्छा वॉकिंग कर सकते हो वहाँ पर। सेंट्रल पार्क में कुत्ता वगैरह सब के टट्टी पे ऊपर वॉक करने की जरूरत नहीं है, यहाँ पर आइए देखिए कितना अच्छा वॉक होगा। एकदम रॉयल रोड बना दिया है आपके लिए, बस 2-4 महीने में और पूरा सब अच्छा बन जाएगा। ये ठाकुर जी ने लिखा होगा पहले से ही, अब हमको दिख रहा है अभी से, वो पहले लिखा होगा यहाँ पर। So make it more beautiful, make your lives very beautiful. That is what is reflecting Srimad Bhagavatam with your own persona. पढ़ते पढ़ते जिंदगी बर्बाद खत्म हो जाती है, मगर अगर आप अपने जिंदगी को भागवत जैसे चलाओगे तो लोगों को बहुत हेल्प हो जाएगा। So many people get helped. So you can also make a help to, make a radical change in so many lives. Out there, we have to help, become a helping hand. What is Vaishnava? What does he do? He extends an helping hand of transforming his life in better way. कराने वाला तो ईश्वर ही है, मगर वैष्णव जो होता है पर दुखी होता है, वो दूसरे को देखता है कि वो आध्यात्मिक जीवन नहीं करता, तो उसके हाथ में माला पकड़ा दीजिए। उसको शर्म जरूर आएगा, मगर पकड़ा दीजिए, नो प्रॉब्लम। इन केन प्रकार किसी तरीके से जीवा पे नाम लाके दे दीजिए उसको। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। So we are also becoming, our Indians are also becoming very Westerners, so they come into the temples in the shorts. Okay? So you can see that, Sunday है ना, तो 10 बजे आप, you can see so many people कि at least थोड़ा short में भी आए तो मगर थोड़ा भगवान का दर्शन तो कर लिए। So this has also become our culture. But previously when they used to go to the temple, this is what I learned. स्वच्छ कपड़े से जाइए, स्वच्छ साड़ी पहन के जाइए, ऐसा बोलते थे क्या? मंदिर में जा रहे तो स्वच्छ कपड़े से स्नान करके जाइए। कुछ मैं गलत तो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, बना के तो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ भाई, ऐसा मेरे को पिताजी ने सिखाया था। फ्रेश कपड़े पहनना, शॉर्ट्स में कभी जाना नहीं मंदिर में। और इफ यू आर स्वेटिंग गेम के बाद में, if you have played in a park or something like that, you are sweating, don't go to the temple in a sweating body. But nowadays people, we have a golf course there, so people may play golf and come down to this place. So this is also culture. It has to be planted in your consciousness कि मैं मंदिर कैसे जाऊं। अगर दिमाग में नहीं होगा कि मुझे भगवान से मिलना है, what is the use? Can you imagine? No, I want to go to have a darshan of the Lord. वो किसी तरीके से बाय द वे आ जाए, ठाकुर जी कृपा करेंगे उसको बाय द वे भी, मगर कॉन्शियसनेस में कैसे है, दैट मैटर्स द मोस्ट. नहीं, मेरे को भगवान के दर्शन करने हैं. हाउ डू आई गो? Isn't it a science? 60 years back, the parents taught us how to go to the temple, how to sit in the temple, how to honor the Charnamrit, how to take something to the temple. Don't go without anything, and don't go empty-handed to meet the Lord. These are all culture. But this is missing. This is evaporating. And Vaishnava culture goes beyond this, where you have to be completely different. This is our request, so we culminate it today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Any questions or any comments? किसने के पास प्रश्न है? Yes, Prabhu ji. Huh? Prabhupada ji says Vanaprastha means going to the forest. But now you cannot go to the forest. You can come to the Hare Krishna land, Khargar, and be here and give up all your attachments to the material activities and be completely immersed in 24/7 in the spiritual activities. That will be. Vanaprastha means detaching yourself from the activities which are materialistic and doing activities which are only denoting your consciousness is completely, like nirlipt. भौतिक कार्यों से निर्लिप्तता को प्राप्त करने को ही वानप्रस्थ कहते. जहां पर आप पत्नी को भी अपने साथ में रखते हुए, एक दोस्त की तरह रखते हुए केवल चिंतन मनन सदैव करें. और वानप्रस्थ की उत्तम सिद्धांत जो है नारद जी युधिष्ठिर महाराज को 7वें स्कंद में प्रदान करते हैं. तो वो भी वानप्रस्थी, मगर क्योंकि आपने कृष्ण भावना में अपने जीवन में धारण किया है, आपके लिए बेस्ट है. हमने आश्रम तो बनाया है, तो आइए, क्या रेडी हैं आप वानप्रस्थ आश्रम में प्रवेश करने के लिए? फिर क्या बोलते हैं? आएंगे आएंगे आएंगे. मैं 22 साल का था तो मैं इस्कॉन में आ गया था. मैंने गुरु को नहीं बोलूंगा मैं आऊंगा आऊंगा आऊंगा. अभी तो आप कितना, आपका तो 60 से अबव हो गया. सो व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? ओनली थिंग इज वेदर आई विल एक्सेप्ट और नॉट, बिकॉज वी हैव टू बिकम वेरी एक्टिव इन स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ ऑल्सो. सो द डिसीजन इज नॉट कंसोलिडेटेड. It's still paining you. This decision is still paining you. मेरा क्या होगा? या रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होगी, ठीक है, मगर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी करते हुए भी अपने जीवन को बचाना है. That's more important. But decision making is you have to take. I didn't lament. Whole my life I didn't lament. For 45 years, 46 years, I didn't lament that I gave up my career, I gave up my name, fame, adoration. I didn't do that. So like that, you have to take a decision that once you come, everything will be taken care, everything will be consoled very nicely. That you must have, because you are a Vaishnava. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. It's only glorious, 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 glorious all the time. You will eat better than what you are eating at house. You will sleep better here than at your house. You will be thinking better for the welfare of your family when you are with us. You will be thinking about them better when you are with Lord Himself. Everything will be beneficial for them. You don't worry. Okay? Anything else? Any other question? श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन भगवान की जय, निताई गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे। प्रभुपाद की जय, हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे।